building our community of faith and service. As I said last week, and I want to make it perfectly clear, it is not a capital campaign. We did that 5 years ago. I think the pledge period is just winding down, and we have something to show for it. This is meant to be a short-term and long-term strategic plan for the parish so that we can continue to build upon the many advances and blessings that we've received over the years. This is a way for each and every one of us to look around at the blessings we have and say, am I being truly an intentional disciple of Christ? Am I working actively in any of the ministries that the church community offers me to share with my family and my friends in the world beyond the boundaries of Darien? It is a good news story. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we sent you out the annual parish report. Last week, hopefully you all received the brochure on this initiative called the Building Our Community of Faith and Service. It's right there. I hope you've read it. We've also put some parish interviews on our website if you like videos. We've interviewed several of our parish families, and they've talked about how the parish has had a positive impact on their family's life. The good news is that as a community we are thriving, worshiping together, learning our faith together, building a community together, and serving those in need together. In a nutshell, we truly are disciples of Christ, united in our Catholic faith, strengthened by the sacraments, who then go out and serve the world, especially those in need. Let me just give you a little bit of a profile. How do we worship together? We've resumed masses. We've resumed funerals, baptisms, and weddings. We've done it safely. To the best of my knowledge and Bishop Cacciano's knowledge, not one COVID infection can be traced back to the celebration of a Catholic liturgy since our reopening. We are doing more, not less, masses. On any given Sunday, we typically celebrate 6 masses. This Sunday, like many others, we are celebrating 7 masses. Why? Because we have 30 to 40 high school students who come to Mass every Sunday wanting to celebrate that Mass together. This Mass has typically been their Mass. If they came, there'd be no room for any of you. So we've added a 2:30 afternoon Mass on Sunday afternoons for our high school students. We just celebrated it a couple of hours ago. In addition to that, we've added an hour of adoration here every Tuesday evening from 7:30 to 8:30. We have Eucharistic adoration and confessions. For people who have said when the mat closes were shut down, how much they enjoyed coming quietly and praying in the church. You'd be surprised how many people are coming regularly on Tuesday night to pray quietly before the Blessed Sacrament. And last Tuesday, from 7:30 to 8:30, I sat in the confessional for a whole hour, hearing one confession after the other. Some who are parishioners who come regularly, some are parishioners who haven't been to confession in 100 years. We truly are a parish that's worshiping together and not letting COVID get in the way of doing that. As far as learning our faith together, well, just speaking of masses while I'm on it, right now Father Ignacio and I are trying to figure out how we're going to celebrate Christmas together. Right now the schedule tentatively calls for the 2 of us to celebrate 16 masses between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day to be able to accommodate up to 1,600 of our parishioners. Even that's a disappointment. Usually we have over 3,000 people celebrate Christmas with us. So please keep that in your prayers. Learning our faith together, as I've said many times, we have the 3rd largest religious formation program in the diocese, over 800 students in grades 1 to 6. That doesn't include the 100+ students in our youth ministry program. If we were to use an InClassroom model for those 800 students this year, it would literally require us, in order to honor the mandates, of completely sanitizing our school building top to bottom 3 times a day, 5 to 6 days a week. We can't do it. We don't have the time, we don't have the manpower, we don't have the resources. And so our religious formation team has put together an at-home, parent-centered program for passing religious ed on to our children. It's going to allow for more, not less, interaction with the clergy. We've gotten a little bit of pushback, not a lot. A lot of people have actually said they like the idea, but I'm optimistic that I think by the end of this year it'll be a model for many parishes. It puts the responsibility of passing our faith back where it belongs, not on a volunteer catechist, but on the parents. And we're here to help you and support you in any way we can. The program's up and running. We've done 100 First Communions this year. We've done 100 confirmations this year. Usually we do that in 6 services. This year we had to do it in 12 services, but we got the job done. All of our adult religious formation programs are up and running with record level participation. Walking with Purpose, Men's Ministry, RCIA Bible Study. We truly are a community learning our faith together. When it comes to volunteering, we have more, not less, volunteers. Our Eucharistic ministers are back, our readers are back, our altar service, we're trying to get them back, and we have more men and women who have stepped forward to help us get into this church safely by making sure we're registered, our hands are sanitized, our masks are on, and we're seated safely between one another so we can worship comfortably. And as far as social service goes, Susan Latimer is continuing to work with Religious Ed to make sure once again this year we can provide turkeys and turkey dinners to those who otherwise would go hungry on Thanksgiving Day. The Women's Circle is meeting twice a week on Zoom to figure out how we can safely do our angel tree ministry to make sure children who wouldn't otherwise have packages under their tree this Christmas will continue to be able to have Christmas presents under their trees when they wake up in the morning. The youth group was concerned that we won't be able to have a Christmas tree lighting for the children, so that they've decided what they're going to do instead is have a drive-by Christmas tree. They've already invited St. Nicholas. He's already agreed to come. We're going to tell the parents, put the kids in the pajamas, bring the car down to the parking lot, drive by, say hello to Santa Claus, see the tree, and if they still haven't written their letter to Santa, there'll be a bin and a receptacle. They can give it to him directly and promise him they'll be a good boy or good girl until the 25th at least. Our youth group has had not one but 2 food drives to supply the local soup kitchen, New Covenant Center in Stamford. This is an extraordinary parish continuing to do extraordinary good works under the most difficult of circumstances, because this truly is a parish that continues to thrive and live out its Catholic faith, to share the many blessings we have received. But there is one challenge. The challenge is that in spite of all of those good works, in spite of the fact that we have more families than ever on the roster of this parish census, over the last 5 years, our offertory has been consistently declining. This year, prior to COVID-19, we will bring in $180,000 less than we did 5 years ago for offertory income. That's pre-COVID-19. That's a 16% decrease over 5 years ago. We've had to make another 30% decline adjustment to the budget as we try to get ourselves through this year. As I speak to you, we are, for the first time in a long time, actually using our savings just to maintain the status quo of our parish. We are cannibalizing some hard-earned efforts over the year to put away a little bit of a savings, and we need that to change. We need it to change so that we continue to be a growing, thriving Catholic parish, that we can continue to use our blessings as Catholics the way Christ expects us to, and that we can continue to be proud of the parish that we are members of. It's not a capital campaign, but what I am asking every family to do is consider one of 3 things, all of which are very small. I'm not asking any one person to do anything big. I am asking everybody to do something small. The first thing I'm asking everyone to consider is to please go to online giving. Online giving just gives us a sure cash flow so that whether there's a flu outbreak, whether there's a pandemic outbreak, whether there's a snowstorm or a hurricane, we know that there'll be a consistent number of dollars coming in so that we know which bills can get paid. It's easy, it's safe, and in many ways it might actually make your life easier. It'll make our life a lot easier. The second thing I'm asking every parish to do, if your circumstances allow, is to go home and think about, can I increase slightly whatever it is I'm giving on a weekly or a monthly or an annual basis? It would be of tremendous help to us. Parishioners have asked, well, what does it cost to run the parish? On average, it costs us $30 per family per week to maintain the status quo of this parish. Many of our families are in a good position and are generous and give far more than that. Some of our families I know are in circumstances where they may not be able to give that. But over 51% of our parish families give an average of less than $3 a week, and we cannot sustain the parish on that level of giving. This is not meant to be alarmist. I am an optimist. This is a wonderful parish to be the pastor of. This is a community that likes to do things right, likes to do things well, And when things are placed in front of them, they make the necessary adjustments. And so I'm hoping each and every one of us will go home, go online giving, if possible, increase our offertory, and then do one third thing, and that is fill out the commitment card that came with your brochure. As I said last week, you hate commitment cards, I hate commitment cards. The reason for the commitment card isn't for me to sit there and go through and see who's giving and who's giving what. As I said, I don't have time, nor am I interested in that. But as your pastor, I am interested in knowing what finances we can expect to be receiving this upcoming year to decide whether we are going to be a parish that is going to continue to grow and thrive. Are we a parish that's decided all we want to do is maintain the status quo? Or will we be a parish that has, as we have reached at this point, decided there are certain things we're going to cut back on, ministries we're no longer going to offer? I'm optimistic if we all just do a little, and we each do one of those three little things, we are going to be just fine. And the campaign can be all about what this initiative is meant to be about. Not about making sure the financial foundation of the parish is secure, but how are we active, intentional disciples of Christ, making ourselves, our families, and the world a better place. As I've been praying about all of this, getting prepared for this presentation and how we want to launch this initiative and what kind of short-term and long-term vision we should have as a parish going forward, I came across this in my writings in the sacred scriptures. It comes from St. Paul's letter to the Hebrews. This is a wonderful parish to be the pastor of, and I think this speaks true of all of us, especially as we plan to put 2020 behind us and move brightly into 2021. Paul wrote to the Hebrews, "Let us be concerned for one another, to help one another, to show love and to do good. Let us not give up the habit of meeting together as some are doing. Instead, let us encourage one another all the more, since the day of the Lord is coming nearer." Amen. So with that, I know some of you are getting ready to make your Thanksgiving Day plans. In case I don't see you, I wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving now. And as your pastor, I thank you for all your prayers, your encouragement, and your generosity. I would ask you to please take time to read about our new initiative, our new long-term and short-term goals for the mission of this parish, and then just do whatever you can, and we're going to be just fine. Thank you.